Hey guys, today, Gordon. Hey guys, today we have a very special video, and that is one where we are going to get help picking my next book from the expert himself. Say hi. Aw, it's Gordon. Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to be having my cat Gordon, who I have faith in him to do this task, but I'm going to have Gordon pick my next book. I don't want to cheat. I don't want this to be like rigged where I already have a few select books picked out. I want this to truly be Gordon to freely pick my next book out of the universe of books, and I don't want to give him like just a few selections. I want the world to be our oyster for this challenge. This is how I am going to do it. So as you can see on the floor here, I have set up a post-it note with all of the letters from A through Z, and there is one piece of cat food on each letter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Gordon come in here 3 separate times, and I'm going to look at the 3 first letters that he eats. And the very first letter, that is going to correspond with the author's first name. The second letter is going to be the author's last name, and the third letter is going to be the title of the book. Gordon, are you ready to help me pick my next book? Ready? Oh my god, he's going for the X. Oh my, okay. Okay, so F. This is has to be the author's first name of a book that I'm gonna find. Why does he just go straight ahead? What is he eating there? Oh my gosh. M. I think it's an M. Okay, so M, this is gonna be the author's last name. Okay, of course he's still like eating all of them in the background there, but the third one was R. So the title of the book that I'm gonna have to find is R. I honestly have no idea what to do. Nothing is coming to mind, but next up, I'm gonna do some research on these letters. So full disclosure, you guys, I accidentally deleted this footage, but we're gonna redo it, reenact it starting now. So I found this article which seems perfect. Basically, it lists out all the authors by name. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with the M's. Okay, so then we can find someone with the last name M, and then we can go through here and find someone who has a first name F. So let's highlight this and see. Ooh, okay. So let's see. Faith Martin is a pen name of English author Jackie Walton, who is best known for a popular detective series. Okay, so that could be interesting. Oh wait, Frank McCourt. Okay, Fulvio Melia, Fern Michaels, Frank Miller. There's a decent amount of people. I'm like pretty happy with this. Okay, so it looks like that is it. So let's go through these different people. So the first one I found is Faith Martin. This is a pen name, so I don't know if that's like kind of cheating, but let's see if they have a list of like her writings and see if there's anything that starts with an R. I don't see anything that starts with an R by Faith Martin, so I think we're gonna take her off the list. Next we have Frank McCourt. Let's see, they have a list of his writings anywhere. Okay, I don't see anything that starts with an R, so can't use Frank McCourt. This is kind of concerning. Fulvio Melia books. Okay, these are not in English, so I think we're gonna cross this off the list. Fern Michaels. Okay, this is another pen name. Author of romance and thriller. These could be good. She is the author of nearly 150 best-selling books. Okay, so I feel like she has to have something. R. Okay, there's actually, Razor Sharp. Razor Sharp, okay. Ooh, Return to Sender. That's another book. Okay, this is good. We have 2 options. So let me just quickly look at these other Authors in C. Okay, this is Frank Miller. It looks like he's a comic writer. Okay, so here's Ronan. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, you guys. I don't really want to read a comic book, so I think I might skip this. Oh, Roulette. RoboCop versus the Terminator. What is that? Okay, so this is another comic. Like, I think I'm gonna cross this guy off the list because I really do not feel like reading a comic. Okay, and then Franco. Oh, there's actually two of them. Okay, this is like all in Italian, so I think I'm just like not do this and go with Fern Michaels because it says that she writes romance and thrillers. And I don't love romance, but I do like thrillers, so I feel like those could be good options here. Okay, you guys, so the first one I saw, this is Razor Sharp by Fern Michaels, which does fit all my criteria, but this is book 14 in a series. So you guys, I'm excited about this video, but I'm not going to read 13 books leading up to book 14. So I'm going to cross that one off the list, you guys. So this leads me with Return to Sender. So this is the synopsis. It says, beloved New York Times bestselling author Fern Michaels delivers a superb new novel, an unforgettable story about love, friendship, family, and the courage it takes to let go of the past. Okay, so it says the genre is romance and domestic fiction. It was originally published in 2010. The GoodReads rating is 3.6, which is not terrible, but let's take a look at these. Oh my god. Okay, giving 1 star feels generous for this book. Okay, you guys, awful from start to finish. This is not looking too good. This book has a distinct displeasure of being the absolute worst book I've ever read. If I could, I would rate it in the negative. Just awful. Contrived. Gordon, I think you picked a bad book here, but okay. Okay, there's some 3 stars. Like, this book was pretty good. Okay. Ooh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this book, Return to Sender, and I will check in with you guys once I've read a little bit and I can kind of give you some info on how things are going. So I will check back in with you guys soon. Okay, you guys. This book is literally insane. Okay, so I'm almost halfway done with it. I finished 8 out of 19 chapters. Luckily, it was on Scribd, so I was able to get it for free. I did not have to pay anything extra. When I first saw the cover of it, I was like, this is gonna be like a historical romance or something, like some super soft and mushy romance. That is not what this is. So far, there's no real romance. Like, there's some people who potentially could be coming together in a romance, but there's no sign that they're coming to romance yet. But there are like some crazy things that are happening in this book. Like, on one hand, I'm like cringing, like this is terrible. And then on the other hand, it's like so over the top that I'm kind of like actually enjoying it because it's just, I have no idea where this book is gonna go.
Basically what this book is about this single mom who she got pregnant when she was a teenager with this guy who turned out to be this like super successful New York City businessman who is like, you know, super rich, super successful, like this big well-known person. And then she was this single mom who was struggling for like so much of her life. And basically for years she's been writing to this guy, like saying, hey, you have this kid. And basically for the first 18 years of this son's life, the dad has been returning all the letters. And we don't know why yet, but they've all been returned to sender, hence the name.
Okay, guys, so I finished the book, and I'm gonna be honest. I think it deserves the negative reviews that it has. Ultimately gave this book 2 stars. I think it honestly deserved 1 star because I think it was objectively bad. But I gave it 2 stars because it was almost so over the top and ridiculous that it made it entertaining. So this book is advertised as a romance, and I honestly think what happened is the author did not remember that this was supposed to be a romance or didn't plan on this being a romance until like 80% of the way through. And then what happened is she picked two random characters that had never met before. They met for the first time, literally like 70 or 80% through the book. And they fall instantly in love. It's such like an inappropriate thing too, because it's like the single mom, she tracks down the biological dad's oncologist because he's dying of cancer. She tracks him down, goes to his office, schedules an appointment with him, like pretending to be a patient. And then once she gets there, he's like, oh, you look healthy. You can't, there's nothing can be wrong with you. And she's like, yeah, nothing's wrong with me. And then they instantly fall in love. So that happened. Then the whole thing where this book is like return to sender, where basically the premise of the book is this single mom has been sending these letters like very frequently to the biological dad. And she's like so stressed out and distraught for her whole life because the guy never returns her letters. They all come back returned to sender. At the end of the book, we find out that they have been returned to sender because she has the wrong address. The address doesn't exist. On all of the letters, letters that have been returned to sender, it says this address does not exist. But apparently the font, the ink that they pressed the stamp on there was not hard enough on any of the stamps. So she's been getting hundreds of letters back that she's been carrying around with her for her whole life since her son has been born. And she didn't see that they all said, this address doesn't exist. What? And then on top of that, so I listened to the audiobook, and I don't know if there was like something weird going on with my version of the audiobook or the book itself was just like had bad editing or something, because there were certain conversations that happened verbatim multiple times. Like it seemed like they copied and pasted things like multiple times. It would be in situations where I think people were like remembering things and like remembering past conversations, but instead of like figuring out a way to reference those conversations without literally playing them verbatim again, they would have like these long like periods of audio where it would be like identical to earlier stuff. It was just like exactly repeated. So that part was super weird. And on top of that, like the mom, the single mom, she is like a terrible person. Okay, so as I said, the dad is dying of cancer, and the dad is having this like bone marrow drive to try to find like a donor to save him from his disease. And the mom tells her son, even though that there's like a good chance that they would be a match, she's like, don't do it. You can't use the blood donor drive. You can't do the bone marrow drive. Like, don't do it. Even though there's like a $1 million prize for having matching donor, and it could save his life. Like, she cares more about not having the dad find out about this kid than saving his life. Like, I don't know. That part was weird. And then she's like a crazy murderer. Like, okay, the whole thing was just psycho. Like, I can't describe all of it because all of the characters were like such crazy archetypes. Like, there was no dimension to the characters. Like, the dad, the biological dad, she had this wife who was just a terrible person. Like, it kept referencing this woman, like the new wife, being like, yeah, I hope he dies. Like, I hope he dies of his cancer. And she ends up poisoning him and basically being like, yeah, no one will know because, yeah, I mean, he has cancer, so whatever. Like, I can poison him and it'll just seem like he's sick from cancer because I want him dead as soon as possible because I don't like him. It was bad, but it was entertaining at the same time. So I feel like I can't give it 100% bad rating. So I gave it 2 stars, which I think is probably more than it deserves, but it was still entertaining while I was reading it. So yeah, overall, it was a good experience. Gordon, he kind of let me down this time, I'm not gonna lie, but I would do this again if you guys like this video. If you like videos like this, or you like videos about books, reading, especially mystery, thriller, nonfiction, memoirs, stuff like that, then subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and more. And that's it. Bye, guys.